Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a Tackle Warehouse unboxing. And so anyway, we're gonna dive into this bad boy and see what all we got. I did get some stuff that was on sale, and then I think I got some newer stuff. But anyways, so that's the idea. I want to appreciate everybody for subscribing and watching and all that good stuff. The entry for the bag going well. Y'all seem to like that. So if you're interested in that, be sure to watch my last video, the Monster Bass Bags. Each month I do a drawing out of the bag and get 2 baits out of it that y'all pick on whatever ones are most voted on. That's the ones I put into the bag, and then one lucky winner wins it. So if you're interested in that, be sure to hop on and get involved in that. So let's get into this box. I've got some pretty interesting and pretty excited stuff that I've been waiting for and wanted to try, so I picked it up. So like I said, some of this stuff was in the clearance and some of it wasn't, but yeah, and some of it's new or whatever. Alright, so first off, let's start off with this. This right here was one I was just actually talking in my last video. I wish I would have gotten, so I went ahead and picked it up. Is the Missile Baits Crawfather. This one is in the Lava Craw. The last one I picked up was the Green Pumpkin Lava. So here's the Crawfather. And that Lava Craw, bright red, and got that orange underbelly. It's kind of blended in on the bottom, so that's pretty cool. But Missile Baits makes some really good stuff, and I like it. They used to be really cheap, and then they went up on their prices, I'm assuming, just like everybody else. But anyways, I've got a ton of their baits, and the Crawfather is one I've got I really like, and I think I've got pretty much every color of Crawfather they've got. I mean, I'm sure there might be some secret colors out there that I don't have, but not very many of them. Now we're going to do this one. This one was on the clearance aisle, and I was really surprised with it. It was priced at $5. The Jackall Bounty. The Jackall Bounty fish. I'm sure y'all all know Jackall. Jackall makes some really good stuff. But the bounty fish was a pretty good catcher for me last year. I did have some pretty good luck with it. I'm not going to say I had great luck with it, but it was enough to make me buy this whenever I seen it on sale, because originally it was like $12.99, if not even more. But anyways, I had it in a few colors. The last one I bought was the blue colored one, and so anyways, I bought this one. This was the white one, and this one's actually smaller, I believe. Yeah. So anyways, this one is the 140, so I think it's like 5 inches maybe. The other one's more like 6 or 7 inches, but what makes it really cool is that little netting material. And basically you just hook it from here to here, and either with a you want to use the EWG hook and basically fish it like you would a topwater bait, because it literally floats. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't put a belly weighted hook on there and make it sink, and I don't know what would happen with the tail if you did that, but it's specialized on, according to this, walking the dog soft bait. So that's what I was saying. It was designed to be fished on the top, kind of like a fluke. If you fish a fluke a lot, I do. I kind of like to keep my fluke close to the surface. Every now and again, I'll go with a weighted belly hook if we're just not hitting it that way. But a lot of times, I just like to let mine just do its thing across the top of the water, and then let it go down, sink a little bit, and then jerk it back up and make it skitter across the top. Next up, this one is another one I found interesting that was on sale. This is the Fish Arrow Heavy Poop. And this bait really catches fish. I mean, a lot of people think it's a gimmick, but I'm here to tell you it catches fish. You can look it up on YouTube and you can see the fish that people catch on it. And it's not, it's pretty durable, is what I was going to say. It doesn't tear up very easily. It's a pretty good chunk of plastic, depending on the size that you get. And it weighs quite a bit, so you can launch it out there without a weight, kind of like a Senko. And anyways, this is the 3.6, and this is in the color Molt Crawl, and they had this one on sale as well. Yeah, $4.98, and they're usually way more than that. But anyways, see, this, a lot of people look at it and they're like, it looks like a turd, but it really looks like a crawfish if you look at it. Because, see, all it is their pinchers are put together, and on the fish arrow, they put like the eyeball design on it. You can see that there, and then the shell, and yeah, so anyways, I made this one really look pretty good. It's even got a little slit for your hook. And so anyways, like I said, if you're looking for something that you can fish like in a pond with all that scum and stuff without having to use like a Senko or something, this might be something that you want to try. Because like I said, you can throw it out there without a weight, and it doesn't get hung up very much, if at all, depending on how you rig it. But anyways, had good luck off of that one. So let's get into this. This is another one I got off the clearance. This is the Missile Bait Ned Bomb, and this is fried melon. I couldn't remember if I had this color or not, and I've got a whole, like I said, I got a whole bunch of missile bait stuff, and I didn't want to dig through them to find it. So anyways, I just went ahead and picked it up. Wanted to try the fried melon color out. I really like their watermelon red core. That's probably my favorite one. In the Ned Bomb, done really good with that one, so I keep that one out and fish it quite a bit. Now this is a new one from Lunker Hunt. This one's part of the Hive series, which you know is the Elastix. What they, you know, it's basically Elastix. This one's called the Versa Strider. So anyways, I seen this bait on there and I was like, man, I don't know about this. But anyways, you know, Lunker Hunt, they always make some pretty weird stuff. At least they used to. Nowadays, they really try to make stuff that actually works. And so anyways, I seen this and I was like, man, that looked pretty interesting. I was like, that might actually work. And I got it because you could use it for multiple purposes. So anyways, you can tell it's a spider. And so it's got the Elastix appendages. And you know, Lunker Hunt come out with the spider that looks like, you know, like a frog. But it was a spider, and it was in the shape of a spider. But a lot of people had a problem with it tearing up. Well, with this being made out of Elastix, you can basically fish it the same way. You get a small EWG hook or just basically any kind of little hook without a weight on there, and that thing's gonna float. And you'll be able to pull that thing across the water, and all them appendages on top, man, there's no telling what you're gonna catch. There's gonna be all kinds of stuff trying to eat that up. So anyways, I picked that up and I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, man, they're doing it again, making them crazy baits. But the more I thought about it, I was like, you know, that spider done really good until it tore up. And so anyways, I picked these up after I seen them, and I really like the Hive series because of the Elastix. And so anyways, it comes in a little clamshell. You get 6 of them. And anyways, the color of that one is blue smoke. And they had some pretty cool colors. Last year, my favorite Hive bait was the drone, I believe is what they called it. It was a Ned style bait. It was real small and it had ribs down the side of it, and that thing caught fish left and right. Good now. So we'll go with this one. This is one that was on clearance. This one was the bait Striking Perfect Plastic Fat Baby Finesse. So anyways, I picked these up. This one's a 5-inch 8-pack, and it's in Prism Shad, which is one of my favorite colors from them, other than the Moon Juice. I really like the Moon Juice. Moon Juice seems to do really good, but this Prism Shad seems to do pretty good too. And so there it is. Really nice. Got the salty texture, kind of like Robo Worm does. But anyways, you got that big bulbous tail. And so anyways, I've got a bunch of these, but the ones that I bought were thinner than this. And so this one said the fat, so I guess this one's a little bit fatter than the other ones. But in all actuality, it almost looks the same as the other ones. But then next up, we have a new one from Net Bait Fuel. Big fan of them. The bait fuel stuff works good. Not gonna say that I don't know what I would say. I'm not saying I would. Trying to think of the word to say. I'm not saying I couldn't fish without it, but I do like it. I've got the bottle of bait fuel stuff right here, and that's all I've used. I mean, it literally takes just a little drop of this stuff, and it's like pouring water in a bag. I mean, it literally just goes in there and soaks in it, and actually if you overdo it, it creates a film around the baits, and it'll cause them all to start sticking together. Now you can pull them apart. It's like whenever you get those baits in, they have that little bit of film left from whenever they pulled them off the press that they didn't cut. It's kind of like that. And so anyways, that's how you'll know if you overdid it. But you just want barely a drop or two to cover all your worms, and once you see it cover all your worms, you know you're good to go. So anyways, this right here is called the EKO Shed 3-inch 10-pack. Once again, I got this one in Prism Shed, made in the US, and this is their new Hex-Tex is what it's called. So anyways, see, it's right there, the Hex-Tex. It's basically the pattern that they put on the bait. Really neat little design. See if I can get it out of here. So it comes in a good clamshell. See, you can see the design there. It's got like all these little honeycombs on it, and I don't know what made them decide to do that. Maybe to help displace water or whatever, but anyways, this almost looks like the Bobby Garland shed with that little cut there. And like I said, 3-inch. It's got the eyes that come out pretty good, and the coloration just really good. They did a good job on that. And it does not have a slit, so you'll probably nose hook this for like a drop shot, or use it as a trailer, or a Ned rig, swimming on a Ned rig. You know, now you got those little baby Ned rig swim. You can swim on a 2-inch bait on one of them. But anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. Something different. So, like I said, you get 10 of those in a pack, so that's not bad. And then next up is another one I picked up from the bargain bin. I picked up this in a different color. This is the Powerbait Maxcent little trooper. I love that little bait. That's not my favorite Ned bait, but it's up there. 2.5 inches, and I bought this one in hot crawl. And the last one I bought was the orange pumpkin green, or green pumpkin orange. So anyways, I bought this one because, like I said, it was a really good sale. So kind of hard not to go back and pick up some stuff, even though I already got it. But like I said, different colors. Got that real bright red color going on with kind of like a green pumpkin on top. I don't know why they called that one hot crawl. I guess because of the red bottom. It's got a bunch of glitter in it. And then next up was a new one. Ow, I just got hooked. That didn't feel good. Alright, well the package is broke, that's why I got hooked. Alright, well this one's a new one, but it's not a new one. Alright, so last year Bill Lewis come out with the Hammer Trap, which was a really good rattle trap, I must say. Really liked it. They had awesome colors, which they always do. This one is in Sneaky Shad, but this one is the mini hammer trap. Hammer trap, yeah. So this one is 3/16 of an ounce, and it's 2 inches long. So this is going to work really good whenever you decide to step down on your baits and go to something smaller when the fish are real finicky and stuff. But I can tell you right now, the hooks are sharp because I just got hooked through the package. But there it is. Little video guy. I mean, I've got ones that are smaller, they're micro, that are made by Guggen. I think they're 1.5 inch, but that little 2 inch right there, that's almost like, to me, the perfect size. The other ones are what, 2.5, 3 inches? So that 2 inch size, I mean, that's really, like I said, the perfect little bait fish. I mean, them brim and all that stuff, they're that size, shoot. Them bass ought to hit that left and right. I ought to catch a lot of fish off of this one. As long as it's the right color. And like I said, that's a natural color around here. So, should be good. Might go back and pick up one in a bluegill color, because we got a lot of bluegill around here, so might do that. But really interested in that one. That's pretty cool. I do like their packaging. Really nice. Comes in pretty simple. Next up, we got some terminal tackle. I picked up these. These are the Z-Man EWG weighted hooks. They have that little plastic keeper on the end. Let us take one out of here. I haven't tried these yet, and I wanted to try them, and the reason I haven't tried them is because they're so expensive. And they had them on sale, but not for very much. I think it was like $1 off, but anyways, $1 off was enough to convince me to buy them and try them. With the Lastech, it is hard to fish a EWG style bait without it sliding down. And so, anyways, you really got to find something that's got some kind of keeper up there. I usually just tie a piece of mono that's real thick. I'll tie that on the end of it, that way it'll stay up there and keep it up there. But I do like the fact they got that little piece of rubber right there that you can adjust it and make it stay up there. So that's pretty interesting. I do like that. But for the price of them, I just don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. I do know other brands make them. I don't know how much cheaper they are. I might have to look into that instead, but this is a 4/0 3/16 of an ounce. My favorite size for pretty much anything. Next up was something I picked up that I've been dying to try. I know it sounds pretty stupid, but it's the Rattlesnaker from Z-Man. I thought this was a smart innovation tool for them. You get 10 glass rattles that are included in it, and so basically, just to kind of give you an idea of how to do this, you take and you pull that off, and that's your needle, and you stick that in the bait, and you do that, pull it apart first before you do that. You stick that into the bait, and then on the end down here there's these little glass rattles that come in there, and you slide that down into the tube, and then once you put it inside this, you take this and you push that in there, and it puts the bait in there, and then you back it out, and that's how you work that. So really dying to try that, and I'll tell you why. Because there's been quite a few baits that have come out the past couple of years that I've been wanting to try this with, and it ain't just Elastec. I mean, it goes for all baits, but this is one of them that I wanted to try it on, and the other one's called the Mullet. But this is the Z-Man Shadtron LT, and anyways, really like this bait. This one right here I almost like as much as I do the Hercules, depending on what size Hercules I'm fishing with. But anyways, this is the 4.5, so the 4.5 inch. Glimmer Shad is the color. So anyways, I'm going to take me a rattle, and I'm going to go right through that big fat tail right there, and I'm going to insert that rattle right there at the end of that tail. That way, while that thing's going through and that tail vibrates real fast, because it's a wedge tail, it's not real wide, it's real tight together. And while it's shaking real fast, that rattle's going to be in there making all that ruckus and just create all kinds of noise. So that was my idea whenever I bought that rattle. After I fished this bait a couple of times, caught some fish on it, I was like, man, I bet if you had a rattle in there, that's gonna really soup up that bait. So anyways, that was my idea of that. And then next up, I picked this up, and yeah, they made a mistake. Alright, so I picked this bait up. This right here is the Bass Mafia Dangerous Loaded Swim Bait. And so this is the new 5-inch, 5-inch, 0.95 ounces. So anyways, I picked this up in the color of Tennessee Shad, which is almost like Arkansas Shad, but it's not as brown. The Arkansas Shiner color, which I live in Arkansas, by the way, y'all probably know this, is one of my favorite colors around here because it matches the bait fish around here. But anyways, it's more of a brown color. But anyways, so I got this, and when I popped the box open, I noticed something that I'm going to tell y'all here in a minute. So here is the new 5-inch. And let me tell you something, the 6-inch did wonderful for me, and to have this in a 5-inch, that's even awesome. I like that hook. You know, it's just like basically like the Z-Man Shadtron. But anyways, they use what I think that's called a sickle hook. I'm not sure. But anyways, to be able to put another hook just a regular hook in there is really nice. So props to them for doing that. And then they got the belly weight on the bottom. These are pretty durable. You're gonna get just about as much as you would off of Megabass or any of them, but it's soft enough that you can see how the tail flips over. But anyways, really like that. But so anyways, when I opened it, I noticed something, and Tackle Warehouse is probably gonna be pretty upset about this. They sent me another one. The same color and everything, but I didn't order 2 of them. And I'll even show you. But you'll see right there that $12.99 price tag, the second one up from the bottom. Yeah, that's only one, so I didn't order that, and I didn't get charged for it. So thank you, Tackle Warehouse, for giving me a bait for all the money that I've spent with y'all. So I really do appreciate it. At least I did get something back out of it. I think I've spent quite a bit of money with y'all, so I think I deserve a free swim bait. So now I have one in case I lose one. So anyways, yeah, so looking very interested in trying that out, and looking forward to trying that out. I already know how that fishes. That's a fish catcher. Looking forward to trying those out, seeing if that is really worth the money. Definitely looking forward to using this, because I've got a lot of ways to use this. And Ned Head, you know, Guggen has theirs with the rattle already in it, but now you can take the Lastech ones and put your own rattle in it. Really cool. And then these are interesting, and they got like almost all their baits and some new ones in this Hex design, which I find pretty cool. Looking forward to trying out these spiders as well. That's a really cool thing that I'm looking forward to trying out. Like I said, they're 3 inches, so anything can pretty much gulp those down. I've already fished the heavy poop. I've got a lot of different versions of them. The one by Missile Baits, I think it's called the Mamba. That one's a pretty good one as well. And I'm looking forward to fishing this new size bounty fish. You get 4 of those. I don't know if I told you that, but anyways, they were in the clearance. I don't know if it was just for that size, but anyways, that is what I'm looking forward to trying out. Looking forward to that stuff. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and let me know what y'all are interested in. What was your favorite bait in the box? And let me know if you've tried some of the stuff that I haven't tried, some of these newer baits. But anyways, I will see y'all on the next one.